Hey guys, this is Strength Coach Freeman, and welcome back to another episode of Strength Conditioning for eSport Athletes. Today's video segment will focus on step number 1 of the 4-step training program. We will be working on soft tissue using this little ball called a Rubz ball. I believe the company is called Rubz. A great soft tissue device that can be used primarily for the hands and feet, but you can also use it in other parts of the body. I really like it. I find it a great little device to get my tissues kind of warmed up before exercise. So we'll zoom in and take a look at that. But just to recap, soft tissue is the first step that you should go over in your training session, followed by movement prep, right? Dynamic warm-ups, then your actual training, whether it be strength and conditioning for different parts of the body or actual gameplay. In this case, would be a gaming session, right? In whatever game you usually play for esports. And then finally, you want to finish off with static stretching for recovery, right? Static stretching is very important. And again, esport athletes, they're called athletes. And if you want to compete like an athlete, you need to train like an athlete. And if you look at the best athletes across the world of athletics, the top individuals don't just play their sport. They do training outside of their sport. It's called cross-training. So if you're a football player, you don't just play football. You might go to the weight room and do different strength and conditioning exercises to build up your foundation of strength. You're going to do different exercises to improve your mobility, your flexibility. There's a wide variety of things that different athletes can do to make sure that they're going to function to their maximum level in competition. So if you want to call yourself an esport athlete, do it, but make sure you're backing it up by really training like an athlete. All right, so let's zoom in, take a look at this Rubz ball, and I'll show you how you can use it to warm up your soft tissues prior to a training or gaming session. Okay, so here's a close-up view of the Rubz ball. Pretty much a small ball, not too different than a lacrosse ball or tennis ball, but smaller in size, probably a little bit bigger than a golf ball. The cool thing about this tool is the large amount of little nubs. So as I've said previously, when you have these little nubs or points, it reduces the surface area of the item. So the surface area of contact with your skin is going to be less, so you're going to work less tissue, but each one of these points is going to be applying more direct pressure to the part that it is in contact with on your skin. So you will get a greater intensity of pressure and trigger point work, but you'll just get it in less spots. So again, if you having both a tool that's smooth and having ones with these little pointed parts, having a combination is pretty good. So how this works, very simple. Place your palm on the ball and slowly start to roll your hand over the ball. You can go all the way from fingertip to palm. You can also break it up a little bit. I like to sometimes kind of work palm first, then work into the fingers. And I always recommend trying to work from different angles, right? So work to the outside of that hand a little bit. Remember, the pressure needs to be applied directly down, right, against gravity, straight down into the ball. So whatever part is directly above the ball is what's going to be receiving the pressure. We've got a spot of trigger points right in here. So remember, I recommend 3 to 5 deep breaths to work out a trigger point. Work into the outside of the hands. And again, a tool like this is also great for not just the hands, but also working into the feet. And this can also be used rolling onto the forearms and other parts of the body. So a very versatile tool. Again, I think I got it for just a few dollars. And then if you want, you can kind of work into the fingers. Although the palm's going to be where you're going to really get the most out of using this tool. Got a good trigger point right there. All right, and then you finish with one hand, switch over to the other one. So a combination of your longer strokes, but then also kind of smaller, more isolated ones that really kind of hone in on certain parts of the hand. Another great tool. I really like this ball as well, and I like that it works so nicely in other parts of the body as well. So in the future I will do more videos on how to work into the forearms, because that's another huge and I think often overlooked part of gaming. I think everyone thinks about the hands, although I don't know how much training people do for the hands outside of gaming. So one of the reasons why I decided to make these videos, but also working into the forearms. The forearms really play a huge role in operating the hand. So, and also a role in injury, right? So a lot of individuals that are retiring early from injuries are having problems, at the elbow and other parts of the arm. So maintaining the soft tissue, keeping things functioning well, will hopefully reduce your risk of getting injured in the future. So that's why being preemptive and using this kind of stuff to keep yourself functioning well is a good idea. It's like taking your car in to get the oil changed. Rather than waiting for there to be a problem, take the car in, get it serviced regularly, and it'll prevent you from having an issue that you have to deal with. It's much easier to prevent than have to rehab and recover. So, thanks for joining me today and watching this video. Hope you found this tool helpful. I'll try to provide a link in the description on where you can get this tool. It's a great little thing to buy and use. Please stay tuned for future videos on strength and conditioning. And actually, one last thing I forgot to mention. This can also be used as a squeeze tool, right? So we were using it to roll, but you can actually grip it and kind of squeeze into it. And by gripping it, you're just using your own strength to press in different parts of the hand. So you can really get into the fingers really nicely here. And again, you can also kind of roll it together with the hands. Kind of use one and knead into the other. So a lot of things you can do with this tool. Alright, so for real this time, thanks for watching, and please stay tuned for future videos.